natural but had to be very expensive extensions. As Dani stood transfixed, the stunning beauty raised a raven eyebrow, and in a lilting soprano asked, "Danielle Sloan?" Mentally slapping herself, Dani nodded and said, "But please, call me Dani." "I am Yvette Joubert, but no one calls me Evie." The stunning woman winked, then tucked a lock of gleaming jet-black hair behind her ear and added under her breath, "At least not anymore." Dani was trying to figure out if she should respond to that or not when Yvette tilted her head and asked, "You were expecting me, no?" "Yes, I was. Sorry." Dani stepped out of the way. "Please come in." She gestured toward the parlor. "Right this way." Once Yvette was seated, she glanced around the room and grimaced. "I'm not fond of antiques. I prefer glass and leather. This," she waved her hand, "looks as if someone's granny died here." Dani noted that Yvette's slight French accent seemed to come and go. Was she faking it? And if she was, who cared? Dani silently scolded herself. Needing to assure her prospective client, Dani hastily said, "These furnishings came with the house. I promise you that my food is not reflective of the surroundings. Would you like to see my modernized kitchen?" "Thank you, but no." Yvette gave a theatrical shudder and giggled. "I make it policy to avoid that room whenever possible." "I'm very grateful that a lot of people feel that way," Dani chuckled. "It's why the personal chef branch of my business is so popular. Busy men and women who don't want to eat out or order in all the time hire me to do the cooking for them once or twice a week." "I've been hearing about that service from several friends." Yvette gracefully crossed her tanned-toned legs. "Chelsea Barnes raves about your food." Straightening the hem of her periwinkle sheath, Yvette added, "In fact, she and her husband are the ones who recommended your company to me. Trent mentioned that you had catered a faculty tea that was utterly exquisite." Dani was pleased that the Barnes, who were regular personal chef clients, had recommended her. She also briefly wondered if Yvette's relationship with Chelsea was personal or professional. While Professor Barnes taught at the local university, Dr. Barnes was a famous plastic surgeon. "That's very nice of them." Dani made sure her voice reflected her gratitude. "Word of mouth is so important in my line of work." Yvette indicated her agreement with a regal nod. "I always take what people have to say about a product more seriously than any advertising." "I do too," Dani said, then asked, "Shall we get started?" "I hope you don't mind, but I asked my wedding planner to meet me here." Yvette glanced at the slim diamond watch on her wrist. "Unfortunately, she's driving down from Chicago and texted me that she won't arrive for another 15 or 20 minutes." "No problem." Dani gestured to the refreshments on the table and asked, "Would you like a cup of coffee and a snack while we wait?" "That would be lovely," Yvette answered. "Do you have any stevia?" "I do. It's in the kitchen." Dani rose. "I'll be right back." After quickly transferring the light green packages of stevia to a crystal sugar bowl, Dani returned and offered it to Yvette. The woman had already poured herself a cup of coffee and, from Dani's glance at the tray, had to be eating her third snickerdoodle. Dani's secret weapon seemed to be working. Once she had her own cup fixed the way she liked it, Dani grabbed her notebook from the table, settled back in her chair, and said, "If you'd like, we can use the time until the wedding planner gets here for you to tell me a little about yourself and the groom. That way I can be thinking about possible menu ideas." "Excellent idea. Let's see." Yvette took a bite of cookie and chewed thoughtfully. "I was born in France, but my parents moved to the States when I was 5, and I've lived here ever since. I work for one of the top architectural and design companies. We were involved in several Chicago municipal buildings." "I can see why my decor was so important to you," Dani murmured. "Yes." With a look of repulsion, Yvette glanced around the parlor. Dani was immediately sorry she'd reminded the woman of her surroundings and encouraged, "You were saying?" "Although I am currently taking time off from the company to concentrate on my wedding. Once an interior designer, always an interior designer." "Of course," Dani agreed. "It's the